Hello everyone, I am teacher Celine V. Kalimag from Katagaman National High School, Tuguegarao City, Cagayan Valley. I will be discussing determining the intercepts, zeros, and asymptotes of rational functions. So in this lesson, we will be able to determine the intercepts, zeros, and asymptotes of rational functions. So let's have example number 1. Find the x and y intercepts, zeros, and the asymptotes of the function f of x equals x plus 6 over x minus 3. To find for x-intercept, just let f of x equals 0 or y equals 0. Ibig sabihin, palitan daw lamang natin ang f of x ng 0. So, sa aking solution, makikita ninyo na ang f of x ngayon ay pinalitan ko na ng 0. Then, I just copied the equal sign and x plus 6 over x minus 3. So, since this is a rational equation, the first step to solve a rational equation is to find for the LCD. Since nag-iisa lamang ang ating denominator which is x minus 3, ibig sabihin itong x minus 3 ay siya na ang ating LCD. Then after finding the LCD, i-multiply natin ito to the both side of the equation. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, nag-multiply ako dito sa left side ng x minus 3, then nag-multiply din ako sa right side ng equation natin ng x minus 3. So, we will now multiply. So, since this is 0, 0 times any number is equal to 0. Then dito, x plus 6 over x minus 3 times x minus 3, we can now cancel our LCD and our denominator. So, ang natira na lamang ay x plus 6. So, to solve for x, itra-transpose lamang natin itong constant term to the other side of the equation. So, pag nag-transpose tayo, yung kanyang sign ay babaliktarin. So, itong positive ay magiging negative 6. So, we have now negative 6 equals x, or mas appropriate siyang isulat as x equals negative 6. Therefore, the x-intercept is x equals negative 6. Now, for y-intercept, just let x equals 0. Meaning, palitan lang natin ng 0 yung x. Take note, f of x is same as y. So, sa aking solution, ginamit ko na ang y instead of f of x. Ngayon, palitan na natin ang x ng 0. X, palitan ng 0. So, 0 plus 6 is equal to 6, and 0 minus 3 is equal to negative 3. So, 6 divided by negative 3 is equal to negative 2. Therefore, the y-intercept is negative 2, or it can be written as ordered pair 0, negative 2. Zeros of rational functions. Definition. Zeros are also known as x-intercepts, solutions, or roots of functions. The zeros of a function are the values of x which make the function 0. The real numbered zeros are also x-intercepts of the graph of a function, meaning to say the values of our x-intercepts are also the values of our 0. So to find for the zeros, just equate the numerator into 0. Meaning to say, just copy the numerator which is x plus 6, equate into 0, or x plus 6 equals 0. Solving now for x, just transpose positive 6 to the other side of the equation. So, since mag-transpose tayo, yung positive 6 ay magiging negative 6. So, the value of our x now is equal to negative 6. Therefore, negative 6 is the zero of the function. So, as you can see, pareho lamang yung nakuha nating x-intercepts kanina, which is negative 6, sa zero natin ngayon na negative 6. Now, let's proceed to the asymptotes of rational function. Definition. The vertical line x equals a is a vertical asymptote of a function f if the graph of f either increases or decreases without bound as the x values approach a from the right or left. We have two kinds of asymptote. We have vertical and horizontal asymptote. Let's define vertical asymptote. The vertical line x equals a is a vertical asymptote of a function f if the graph of f either increases or decreases without bound as the x values approach a from the right or left. For horizontal asymptote, the horizontal line y equals b is a horizontal asymptote of the function f if f of x gets closer to b as the x increases or decreases without bound. This means x approaches to positive or negative infinity. To find for the vertical asymptote, just equate the denominator into 0. So from the given f of x equals x plus 6 over x minus 3, the denominator is x minus 3. So I just copied x minus 3 equate into 0. Or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So solving for x, just transpose negative 3 to the other side of the equation. So, negative 3 now will become positive 3. So, our x now is equal to 3. Therefore, the vertical asymptote is x equals 3. So, for the horizontal asymptote, there are possible conditions in determining horizontal asymptote of irrational functions. Let n be the degree of the numerator and m be the degree of the denominator. Ibig sabihin ng degree ay yung ating highest exponent. So letter A condition, if n is less than m, the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. Meaning to say, kapag yung degree daw ng ating numerator ay mas mababa sa degree ng ating denominator, automatic ng ating horizontal asymptote ay 0. Letter B condition. If n is equal to m, the horizontal asymptote is a over b, where a now is the leading coefficient of our numerator and b is the leading coefficient of the denominator. Meaning, kapag yung degree ng ating numerator ay pareho lamang sa degree ng ating denominator, ang ating horizontal asymptote ay kopyahin ang leading coefficient ng numerator over the leading coefficient ng ating denominator. Letter C. If n is greater than m, there is no horizontal asymptote. Ibig sabihin, pag mas mataas daw yung degree ng ating numerator kesa sa degree ng ating denominator, automatic there is no horizontal asymptote. So from our example, f of x is equal to x plus 6 over x minus 3. Ang ating highest exponent dito ay 1. Pero hindi po natin makita yung 1. But it is understood that the exponent of our x here is 1 and our exponent in the denominator is also 1. So as you can see, they are both 1. So our n is equal to m. So just copy the leading coefficient of x in the numerator, which is 1. Itong x natin can be read as 1x. So ang leading coefficient ay 1. Over the leading coefficient ng denominator is also 1. So 1 over 1 is equal to 1. Therefore, the horizontal asymptote is y equals 1. So let's proceed to example number 2. Find the x and y-intercepts, zeros, and the asymptotes of the function f of x equals x squared minus 9 over x squared minus x minus 6. So to solve for x-intercept, just let f of x equals 0 or y equals 0. Meaning, palitan lamang natin itong f of x ng 0. So, kung mapapansin ninyo sa aking solution, itong f of x ay pinalitan ko na ng 0. Then, I just copied the equal sign at yung x squared minus 9 over x squared minus x minus 6. So, since this is a rational equation, the first step to solve the rational equation is to find the LCD. So, since iisa naman yung ating denominator, ibig sabihin, siya na ang ating LCD. Then, after finding the LCD, multiplied it to both sides of the equation. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, dito sa left side, minultiply ko yung ating LCD at minultiply ko din siya sa right side of the equation. Now, multiplying x squared minus x minus 6 sa 0, ang sagot ay 0 kasi any number multiplied by 0 is 0. At dito sa right side of the equation, we can now cancel out our LCD at yung ating denominator. So, ang matira na lamang ay x squared minus 9. So, since ito 0 equals x squared minus 9 is a quadratic equation, one way to solve a quadratic equation is by factoring. So, ang factor ng x squared minus 9 ay x plus 3 and x minus 3. So, since itong dalawa ay naka-equate sa 0, pwede natin siyang paghiwalayin. So, x plus 3 equals 0 at yung isa, x minus 3 equals 0. So, solving for x, i-transpose lang natin tong positive 3 sa kabila. So, magiging negative 3. So, our x is x equals negative 3. Dito naman, yung negative 3 ay i-transpose natin sa kabila, kaya naging positive 3. So, x now equals positive 3. Therefore, our x-intercepts are positive 3 and negative 3. Para naman sa ating y-intercept, just let x equals 0. Ang ibig sabihin ay palitan lamang natin yung mga x ng 0. So, sa numerator, x squared, pinalitan ko ng 0 yung x. Then, dito sa denominator, x squared, pinalitan ko ulit ng 0 yung x. Then, negative x, pinalitan ko ng 0. So, 0 squared is equal to 0. 0 minus 9 is negative 9. 0 minus 0 is 0. So, 0 minus 6 naman is negative 6. negative 9 over negative 6 is equal to positive 3 over 2. Therefore, the y-intercept is 3 over 2 or 3 halves. For the zeros, equate the numerator into 0. Ibig sabihin, kopyahin lamang natin ang numerator na x squared minus 9, then equate into 0. So, naging x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. Ngayon, ito ay isa na namang quadratic equation. Para ma-solve natin ang quadratic equation, we can use factoring. The factor of x squared minus 9 is x plus 3 and x minus 3. Since itong dalawa ay equal to 0, pwede natin siyang paghiwalayin. X plus 3 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0. Solving for x, just transpose positive 3 to the right side of the equation, magiging negative 3 siya. So, x now equals negative 3. And x minus 3 is equal to 0. Ilipat din natin yung negative 3 on the right side. So, naging positive 3. So, x now equals 3. Therefore, the zeros are 3 and negative 3. Take note of this na yung zeros natin ay also x-intercepts. Yung nakuha natin kanina sa x-intercepts ay positive 3 and negative 3. So, pareho lamang sa nakuha natin sa ating zeros. And this can be written as ordered pair 3, 0, and negative 3, 0. So, for the vertical asymptote, just equate the denominator into 0. Meaning to say, kopyahin lang ang denominator and then i-equate nyo siya into 0. So, kung mapapansin ninyo dito sa given ay kokopyahin ko lamang ang denominator which is x squared minus x minus 6, then equate it into 0. So, x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. As you can see, this is a quadratic equation. Why? Because the degree or the highest exponent is 2. So, to solve for quadratic equation, we can use factoring. So, the factor of x squared minus x minus 6 is x minus 3 and x plus 2. So, since this 2 is equal to 0, pwede natin siyang paghiwalayin. So, x minus 3 equates siya sa 0, then x plus 2 equates siya sa 0. So, solving for x here, just transpose negative 3 to the right side of the equation, naging positive 3. So, x now is equal to 3. And on x plus 2 equals 0, just transpose positive 2 on the right side of the equation, magiging negative 2 siya. So, x now is equal to negative 2. Therefore, the vertical asymptotes are positive 3 and negative 2. For horizontal asymptote, meron tayong tatlong conditions na susundin base sa kanilang degree. So, dito sa ating given, kung mapapansin natin, ang ating degree ay parehong 2. Ang ibig sabihin ng degree ay yung highest exponent. So, ang highest exponent natin dito sa numerator ay 2 at yung highest exponent din natin sa denominator ay 2. So, pareho silang 2. N is equal to M. So, pag pareho ang degree ng numerator at denominator, kokopyahin natin yung leading coefficient ng bawat isa. So, ang leading coefficient dito sa numerator is 1. So, 1. Then, ang leading coefficient na naman dito sa denominator ay also 1. So, 1 over 1 is equal to 1. Therefore, the horizontal asymptote is y equals 1. Example number 3. Determine the horizontal asymptote of each rational function. A. F of x equals 3x plus 8 over x squared plus 1. B. F of x equals 3 plus 8x squared over x squared plus 1. And C. G of x is equal to 8x cubed minus 1 over 1 minus x squared. So, ang basis natin sa pagkuha ng horizontal asymptote ng isang rational function ay ang kanilang degree, the degree of the numerator and denominator. So, dito sa letter A, ang degree ng ating numerator ay 1. So, ang n natin ay 1. Then, sa denominator, the highest exponent or ang degree natin naman ay 2. So, ito ang ating m. m equals 2. So, kung i-compare natin ang 1 and 2, mapapansin natin na yung n is less than m or 1 is less than 2. Sa ating condition, kapag ang n ay less than m, ang ating horizontal asymptote ay automatic equal to 0. Therefore, ang ating horizontal asymptote sa function na to ay 0. For letter B, f of x equals 3 plus 8x squared over x squared plus 1. I repeat, to find the horizontal asymptote, ang basis natin ay ang degree ng numerator at degree ng denominator. So, ang degree ng ating numerator dito ay 2. I repeat, degree is the highest exponent. So, ang value natin ng n natin ay equals 2. So, sa denominator naman, the highest exponent, so ang degree natin ay 2. Yan yung ating m. So, kung papansinin natin, itong value ng n at m natin ay pareho. They are equal. Ang condition, kapag equal ang n at m, the horizontal asymptote is y equals a over b, na kung saan yung a natin ay yung leading coefficient ng ating numerator. Ang leading coefficient ng ating numerator dito ay 8. So, y equals 8 over yung b dito ngayon ay the leading coefficient of our denominator. So, in this denominator, ang leading coefficient naman ay 1. So, 8 over 1. 8 over 1 is equal to 8. So, ang 8 na ito ang ating horizontal asymptote for the function f of x equals 3 plus 8x squared over x squared plus 1. So, for letter C, we have g of x equals 8x cubed minus 1 over 1 minus x squared. Ulitin ko ulit, sa pagkuha ng horizontal asymptote, ay magbe-base tayo sa degree ng numerator at degree ng denominator. When we say degree, it is the highest exponent. So, in the numerator, mapapansin natin na ang highest exponent ay 3. So, ito ang ating degree. So, ito ang ating n. n equals 3. In the denominator, the highest exponent is 2. Therefore, our degree is 2. So, m equals 2. So, kung i-compare natin ang value ng n at m mas mataas ang 3 kesa sa 2. So, n now is greater than m. So, in the condition, if n now is greater than m, there is no horizontal asymptote. So, therefore, in this function, there is no horizontal asymptote. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow my YouTube channel. God bless everyone.